today is Valentine's Day, and instead of spending the entire day with my husband and my kids, I took the time out of my schedule to help a few people, right? And one of these people, this is the crazy part, one of these people actually hung up on me. Not because I'm a bad guy, not because I said something that offended them. It's because I wasn't telling them what they wanted to hear and they didn't like it. They didn't like that they can't virtually instantly remove their whole mix of negative items, their collections and their charge-offs and their bankruptcy and their late payments and their student loans. And we're not talking about the fact that they also had gone to another company for a multitude of years, not months, and that I would have to go in and repair that damage first, right? Before doing anything that I had to do, right? So, because you have to remember that the longer you dispute, the harder it is to remove these negative items. And I'm telling you this for a reason, because this is a misconception that so many people have, and it's just, where are you getting this information from? Trust and believe. If I were able to give you exactly what you wanted, I wouldn't be shy about it. I wouldn't hide behind the scenes and, say, oh, well, it's going to take you X, Y, Z. No, I would say, what are you looking for and how much is it worth to you, right? And that's what you would be paying. Is it worth $15,000 to get that $1 million loan or that $1 million house or $10,000 for that $500,000 house? I would have to say yes. So if I were able to get you there in the time that you wanted, trust and believe I'd slap that price tag on it and I would give you exactly what it is that you're looking for. But I don't, because it doesn't exist. And that was the problem that I had this evening with this person. And no, I'm not calling you out. I didn't say your name. I didn't even say your gender, okay? What I'm saying is this is not just one person that this has happened with. This is not just two people that this has happened with. This is again, multitude of people that this has happened with. And it's like, again, where are you getting this information from? Where are you getting this information from? All right. So this is kind of how it went. I want for you to remove all these negative items, and I want for it to happen in 3 months, even though I just spent multiple years with another company who were not even doing even 1/19 of what you do. Well, they weren't giving the copies of the disputes. Yeah, I understand you give the copies of the disputes. Well, they were only doing, couple negative items and one bureau at a time. Yeah, I get it. You do all your negative items and all 3 bureaus at the same time. And while I never know who's working on my file, I get it. I could speak to you. I get it. You're the one working on my file. But why is it that you can't guarantee me that you can remove these from my credit report? And I'm like, hey, this is the same as an attorney going to court for you, right? That even the best paid attorneys, we're talking about millions and millions of dollars, best paid attorneys can't guarantee you they're going to get you a specific outcome. Why is that? That's because they cannot control what the judge does. They cannot control, if there's a jury, what they conclude. They cannot control what the prosecutor does or says, right? They can only say, hey, look, John, Jane, Sam, I've been working in this field for 25 years. And specifically, I deal with a lot of people who have very similar cases, and this is the type of outcome that I have with this type of case. And you know what? I've also been working in this specific court for about 10 and a half years. So I'm fairly confident that I can get you 30 days of X instead of 1 year of Y, right? That's the type of guarantee that an attorney can give you, and that's the type of guarantee that you can get from a credit repair company. And here's the reason why. And this is exactly what I explained on this call. And these are the type of things that I actually have to argue. Instead of talking about the things that are real, I have to talk about the things that I don't control, such as what the bureaus do. I don't care what the bureaus do. I don't care what the bureaus say. It's not about what they do. It's about what we do. And that's the entire thing. If you go look up the Credit Repair Organizations Act, it basically states, and I'm paraphrasing here, that you cannot guarantee as a credit repair company, right? You cannot guarantee as a credit repair company things that are outside of your control. If you cannot directly control the bureaus, in other words, then you cannot guarantee a specific deletion. You can say, hey, look, I guarantee that in 6 months, if this negative item is not off, I'm going to refund you, because you control that, the giving back of one's funds, right? But you don't control whether that negative item comes off. You could do everything within your power to get it off. Outside of physically working at a bureau and having the ability to remove something from one's credit report, as a credit repair company, because you don't control this specific deletion in this specific period of time, it is illegal to guarantee such results, right? Just the same as when someone says, hey, Kristen, I get it. You can remove my negative items and yada, yada, yada. What type of score can you get me? Well, I can get you where you're going, where you want to go, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to get you 200 points by removing these negative items. However, what I can tell you is if you're not where you want to be by us just alone removing these negative items, there's many things that I can advise you on and help you with and help you towards to get that score and your credit, such as credit building, where it needs to be. That is part of my consulting services, okay? We have credit repair services and then we have actual consulting services. You see what I'm saying? We're dealing with two totally separate things here, all right? But it's illegal, again, for me to say, hey, John, not a problem. Don't worry about your score because by removing your student loans and your bankruptcy, I'm going to be able to get you 200 points. Why is that illegal? It's because I don't control the outcome of that score by removing the bankruptcy and the student loans, right? I can hope and wonder and guess as much as I possibly can, but that's not going to change the fact that your score has so many different factors with it that it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it can plummet by removing specific negative items. And that is why it's so important that you have someone work on your file that actually knows what they're doing, because they can in turn hurt your credit, right? And a side note, this person had been with a big company, no names, for multiple years. There's no reason that you should ever be working on your file unless you have multiple bankruptcies and a ton of very difficult negative items, such as a horde of charge-offs, that you should be working on your file past 12 months. Why am I saying that? Well, the longer you dispute, the harder it is to remove. And then when you go to someone who can help you, that's not going to drag you along. That's not going to make you a number on a spreadsheet. Now, that person has to go in and basically clean up the mess, right? Someone came into your brand new house, cooked in your kitchen, and did not clean up that mess. And now, before you go in and cook, you need to go clean up that mess. This is the same thing. Having said that, I just think that it's crazy that because I didn't tell this person, yes, absolutely, 100%, gonna get you there. Boom, that score, all that kind of stuff that I literally got hung up on. Look, man, you gotta respect the person who is on a call with you, number one, on Valentine's Day, and number two, telling you the things that you don't want to hear, because otherwise it would be about nothing other than getting in your wallet. Because there were 5 times that I could have instead said yes to make them open their wallet, to get them to say, oh, my card number is blah, 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 and I'm ready to start right now. I'm going to pay XYZ over the phone with you right now. So this isn't about money. Okay, this is not about money, because if it were, you would be able to go to my website right now and just sign up for a credit sweep, and you cannot. You got to get on a call with me at my740.com, and I have to personally offer you services. Because I got to know that you are in this, that you are ready, you're ready to change, you're ready to get started with, a new lifestyle, that you're not going to be, in this for 30 days and then quit, that you are 100% understanding the exact process that you're about to go through and what it takes so that we can be on the same page, right? This is another reason why, look, I've been doing this for 12 years, and in 12 years, every single client has gotten the disputes that go out on their behalf, because I'm not trying to not be on the same page with someone, okay? So every single thing that I say and every single thing that I do has a reason behind it. So if you ever get on a call with me and I'm telling you no, it's because it's really not possible. If it were, I would offer it to you. As a business owner, that is the purpose of, saying that you want to make money, right? So why wouldn't you offer it to your customer, your client, whatever, if you had the ability to do it? It's not that I don't have the ability, it's that it does not exist. And I had that conversation with someone the other day. They're like, well, hey, I totally get your program and all that kind of stuff. Let me just ask you a question real quick, Kristen. Yeah, I get it, 6 to 9 months, right? Because of the negative items that I have, that I've worked on my file before, with multiple companies, and these are not easy things to delete. But what about that 14-day process? Can you tell me about that? Well, first of all, that doesn't exist. If What they do, and I'm saying they, not about one person, but they, about all these people who do this, 14 days, 30 days, 60 days, guaranteed, yada, yada. What they do is they get those results for a handful of people. We're talking about like 3 or 4 people, right? And then they say that those are the results that their clients get, right? And if I were to make my program promises and advertisements based off of my best results, we would be talking about an instant program, a 5-hour program, and a 5-day program. And that's it. Why? Because those are the fastest times that I've had removing negative items from credit reports, right? So obviously, because I'm telling you these things, again, you got to respect the person who's not telling you yes, who's not saying yes, yes, yes. I'm not ever going to yes you. I'm going to tell you things that are going to frustrate you, and it's because it's the truth, okay? It's because it's the truth, and a lot of people do not want to hear the truth. Look, these types of things are not offered to people like us, the working class, the people who go and they hustle every day, they bust their asses, right? We're the ones that have to literally, like, just think about it. Where do you work? How long have you worked there? Like, what position do you have? Do you own the company? And if so, did you just go from, graduating high school to having a very successful business? No, look at all the steps that you had to take to get where you are today, making whatever amount of money that you make, working wherever it is. It took time. It took steps. You had to work your way up, or you get what I'm saying, right? So you just have to look at things realistically sometimes, and, again, you gotta appreciate the person who is going to, really sit down and explain this to you instead of just yesing you because you really need something or that you really want something, okay? So it is possible to go out and get a house. We got ours at the literal peak of the pandemic when banks weren't giving out any money, okay? We literally got our house at the peak of the pandemic. So, is it possible to go out and remove negative items and get your houses and your vehicles and your loans and all that kind of stuff? Absolutely, 100%. But not if, number one, you have negative items, and number two, you are handling them the wrong way, and number three, you have the wrong outlook. I talked about an action plan yesterday, I believe it was, and that is the number one thing that you have to have so that you have a general time frame in your mind so that you can make your plans off of this. And that time frame is not going to be some short 3-month stint to remove your negatives, get your score where it needs to be, and then go out and become score qualified, get approved, and get whatever that, financial goal is, right? That mortgage or that loan or whatever. That by itself is a process, 45 to 60 days, depending on where you live, for a mortgage by itself. And that's not including disputing and removing your negative items. And remember that the bureaus are in the business of getting rid of you. And that brings me to another thing. So you should really, if you're working on your own credit, I virtually guarantee you, right? Hate that word, guarantee, but I virtually guarantee you that if you send out a dispute to all 3 bureaus, you are, let's just say it's highly likely that you're going to receive a response that says, even though it came from you, from your address that matches your credit report, that you are working with a third-party company or a third party, such as a credit repair company. They don't believe it's you and that you need to send in identification, or they're just going to ignore you. And why is that? Their job is to get rid of you. Their job is to frustrate you. And that is extremely frustrating. Extremely frustrating. I've literally had people who just wanted to cancel because they received these letters. And that is exactly what they want you to do. They get paid to report this information and they have zero incentive to remove it from your credit report. And I wish I could remember who it was that had told me that. It was the other day. I'm on a call with someone and he's like, you know what? And it's so frustrating because I'm literally me living at my address and TransUnion and Experian send me these notices saying that I'm working with a third party, and the letters came from me. So it's not just that a company can send out something and then, hey, the bureau send you this notice that you're working with someone. No. The reason that they do that is because, number one, it frustrates you, and number two, pursuant to Section 623, if they're thinking that you're working with a credit repair company, they can ignore your disputes. That is the reason why they do that. And it makes you go away. They continue to make money off your information. You stay in the subprime market, and that is just dinero money, moolah, right, for them, because that means they can charge more to sell your information to potential data furnishers, to these lenders, okay? That is the entire business that they are in, okay? We will talk more about that another day, but I just wanted to share this with you because it was just mind-blowing that here I am, could have been telling you to, pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. You probably would have said yes if I had just yesed you to death about everything that you were saying. And it's just so crazy. It's so crazy that this is the type of thing that I go through, and I'm the bad guy here, because I'm not like everybody else who's telling you all these lies about this is how the process works. Man, I've been doing this for 12 years. I've been awarded best debt relief services every single year since 2015. I know what I'm talking about because men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. You hear me say that all the time, but it's the truth. I literally posted a video the other day about how I increased this client's credit scores 245 points in 60 days. So does it happen? Yes, man, it happens. But is that for everybody? Is that going to be every single person who signs up? Absolutely not. They are extraordinary results. But they do happen. All right. So this wasn't to down anybody or anything. This is about having realistic expectations, because we are not looking for a temporary solution to a permanent problem. We are looking for a permanent solution to a temporary problem, which is fixing your credit report. We don't want to slap a Band-Aid on it. We want to go in, do surgery, permanently remove that tumor, which is your bad credit, so that you never have to go through this again. And if you want to actually get help, the real legitimate help that is going to quickly, permanently remove those negative items from your credit report and not have someone yes you to death and tell you what it really is, then use the link that you see on this video down in the description, my740.com. Schedule a call with me and I will see if I can help. If I cannot help, I will tell you straight up, no, I can't help you. Either because of your, unrealistic expectations, or because of the things that you have on your credit report, or because of what you have already done. All right. This is not something that you can continue to go in and try to fix and try to fix and try to fix and try to fix. No, stop doing that. Stop spending 2 months here and 3 months there and 5 months there and 6 months there and then a year there. You need to find someone who's legitimately going to do this and spend that time with them that's required to get you where you need to be, because otherwise you're looking at a full 7.5 years. So if you don't want to wait 7.5 years, either check out my 1,200 videos or see if I can do it for you. But otherwise, I hope you have a great evening, and we're going to be talking about mortgages tomorrow, all right? So make sure that you come back, subscribe so that you don't miss that video, and that's it. Have a great night.